again, and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far, rocking out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions you had and are currently making it happen. A couple quick updates before we get started here. I have officially launched a weight loss course for beginners. It is an online digital course for download. Discover 5 little known secrets on how to lose weight. If you or somebody you know of is interested in dropping a few pounds, now that we are officially almost at the end of the year, this year is winding down super quick. I can't even believe it actually. So definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. There's tons of cool stuff that comes along with the initial launch, and I'm super excited to get it out there. I know that it will change people's lives. Next, product of the month this month is a laurel leaf oil, which is the prominent oil in the blend Easy Air. Quick fact about laurel leaf. Oh wait, actually, yeah. Sorry. Quick fact about laurel leaf, an ancient symbol of victory. Laurel leaf promotes an encouraging environment of courage and concentration. As a natural cleanser and skin soother, laurel leaf essential oil helps you accomplish the little victories you strive for throughout the day. I actually love the Easy Air essential oil blend, so I love using the laurel leaf oil. So if you're interested or somebody you know of is interested in free stuff, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. This is not an oil that is for regular resale, or for regular retail. So I'm super excited. I love getting oils that aren't normally for retail price or for resale price and that are exclusive to certain times of the year. So definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. Next, 15% off Douglas fir this month. Yes, Douglas fir, we're coming up on Christmas. Quickly here, considered to be the classic Christmas tree, the Douglas fir tree was used by Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest to heal a wide variety of ailments. It can also bring you from feeling upset to renewed. All right. I actually love using the Douglas fir on my mask, right? Just, every time we leave the house, we got to put our face on now. And I actually love the Douglas fir, just a couple drops right on there. And that way, it helps give me that calming, relaxing feeling. It's a woodsy oil, right? So think calming, relaxing, walking through the forest, right? So definitely, if you or somebody you know of is interested in discounted products, free products, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and I will get you set up with that. Lastly, 20% off specific or select enrollment collections this month. This is an amazing thing that I love hearing all the time when it happens. If you or somebody you know of has been interested in essential oils, reducing the toxic load in your lifestyle, living a more natural, holistic lifestyle, this is definitely now the time to dip your feet into it. 20% off, right? Save yourself some money. Definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, and we will go over the options with you. It's not for all of them, but it is for a select few, so I'm super excited for that. Okay, let me catch my breath for a quick minute here. Holy, all right. I'm telling you, there's so much more going on over here, and I can just keep going and going, and I won't. I promise I won't. I could, but I won't. What a great time to be alive. Let me just start by saying that. So, let's get into today's topic. What I actually wanted to talk about a little bit today was how I deal or how I take care of my body after a long, hard day. We get those days, right? Especially with it being Tuesday, right? Monday's kind of that day. You can just kind of get through, for me at least, right? I find that Monday's kind of that day you can kind of just get through. It's just over before you have a lot of opportunity to complain about it. But Tuesday, for me, that's the day right there. It has a lot to do with, at my work, we do shift change, right? So every 2 weeks we switch shifts. We go from days to afternoons and then vice versa, right? So for me, on a shift change, it wasn't this weekend, but on a shift change in particular, the Tuesday is the day that gets me. Because I can do that. I can just kind of go through Monday, right? Go through the motions, everything happens. And by the time I realize it, the day's over. But Tuesday, right? You go to sleep on Monday, you get that rest, you wake up Tuesday morning and you're like, oh man, I do not feel like doing today. Not at all. And so that's where, that's why I wanted to come on and give some tips that help me, right? When you're not really into it, when you're not focused, when you're tired, that can lead to injury. And especially on a Tuesday, right? Mondays are kind of whatever, but on a Tuesday is the day where you can really get injured if you're not prepared for it. But also, just working in general hurts us from time to time. For me, I work in an auto factory, so if I'm not hurting, really, I didn't go to work that day. That's really what I find for me. But even if you're sitting at a desk, right, typing all day, sitting all day, right, your back starts to hurt, your legs get numb, right, your glutes start to tense up, right, and it can be a really uncomfortable feeling, to say the least, right? So that's where I wanted to come on, give some tips to help me, right, deal with a long, hard day. At the end of the day, right, the last thing you want to do is have to deal with, the last thing you want to do is be hurting after work, right, when you're at home. Nobody wants that. So that's where I've got some tips that help me sort of take care of my body after a day of hard work, right? Maybe, you tweak something in your back a little bit. Maybe you drop something on your foot and you just can't get that feeling out of there. Or maybe it's just, repetitive motion. Like I mentioned, I work in an auto factory, right? So for me, repetitive motion, right? Strenuous muscles. That's that's part of the gig right there, right? We are parts on a car, right? So it's the same part over and over, and yeah, it can lead to muscle aches, pains, discomfort. And so that's where I want to come on, give some tips that help me. Hopefully they help you too, right? Hopefully you get some value out of this, and who knows, maybe use a tip or two in your own life, or come back here and tell me how none of these worked out for you, and I would love to hear the story behind that one. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The number one thing I do when I come home and I am really not ready for anything is I rest, right? I do. I don't mind taking a nap throughout the day, right? So for me, if I were to come home, what time do we get home? About 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on the shift. Recently, it's about 3 o'clock, right? So 3 o'clock, 3:30, we get home. And that right there is I find it's kind of the perfect time, right? If I were to get home, shower, do all that stuff, around 4 o'clock, 4:30 is like the perfect time for me to take, a 30, 45, maybe an hour long nap. And that would just rest and recharge my body, right? I heard something somewhere that a 10-minute nap is what you should be aiming for, right? 10 minutes, and then that's all the sleep that you need. I can promise you that in 10 minutes, I'm not even falling asleep. There's no way. But that's what I do, right? Sometimes, you get home and you're not really feeling it. You're just, you've had a really long, hard day, and you can't really keep your eyes open. You're fighting your eyes. You're just drained of energy. You don't really know what else to do. And that's for me. Sometimes I just give into that and I just take a nap. I go at it. I come back with a fresh, pair of eyes, a fresh set of emotions, a fresh mindset, and that to me really makes a difference in my overall ability to deal with life, right? For me, I don't really have all that extra time to begin with. I work for 10 hours every day, and then if I'm sleeping for 8 hours, right, I only get about 6 hours left in the day. And so for me, to take an hour out of those 6 to sleep, I would really have to be tired, right? And it happens, right? I don't need to tell you that every once in a while you just hit that breaking point, right? And it's also one of those things too where if you're not sleeping the amount that you're supposed to, so if we're supposed to sleep for 8 hours every night and we constantly do 7 or 6 hours, right? Eventually that's going to catch up to us and we're just going to hit that proverbial wall, and that's when we need to take a rest, right? That's when if you don't take a rest, your body will rest you and you will be down for the count in the form of an injury, some sort of illness, right? So that's where resting to me, Tina's different, right? So for Tina, that's different. She doesn't do naps. For her, it would just be go to sleep and she would just stay awake, and go to sleep a little bit earlier. For me, I find that taking a nap just kind of resets my mind, right? And then I can come back and I'm not really, groggy or irritated, right? When you're sleeping. Sometimes a nap, man, that's all you need. Just a quick 30-minute nap, rest, recharge, come back with a fresh attitude. Number 2 thing that I do to help my body after a long, hard day is ice. And you know what? I should have put heat on there. Ice and heat, because they work together, right? Ice is for what? Inflammation, I think. And then the heat is for, muscle relaxing and stuff like that. So for me, I do ice and heat. I will take an ice pack, or I will just put ice in a bag, and then make sure you wrap it in a towel. Always wrap it in a towel, your heat or your ice source, because putting it on your skin directly will cause it can cause irritation, and that's not something we want to deal with. Let's get real here. If our muscles are sore, the last thing we want to do is also be dealing with irritation on our skin. Like, did anything go right for me? That's all you want to know, right? But ice is a really great thing. 15 minutes of ice. What I do is I do the 15 and 15, right? So 15 minutes of ice, then 15 minutes of heat, right? And then I alternate it back and forth. And you want to alternate it back and forth, and you don't want to keep it on for too long, because then it's, that just gets detrimental to your health, and you start doing more harm for your health or for your body than you're actually doing to try and hurt it. And there's not actually more benefit in keeping the ice on longer. It's actually more detrimental to your body if you do that. So that's why we want to do a short burst, right? 15 minutes of ice, 15 minutes of heat. Just wrap it up. What I like to do is, I'm using my arm. I can see I'm using my arm on here. But it's just easier for me to demonstrate. Sometimes I do, right? You get your legs, your hamstrings, right? The back is a really big one. Back is a different one. If my back is hurting, I will just lay down and then put it right on my back just like that. And then that way I don't really have to worry too much about placement. But if I'm doing like my arm, for example, right? Right in here, that's what happens is, what I do is I take the ice pack, right, or the bag of ice, whatever I've got, and I wrap it up in a towel always. What I'll do more often than not is I'll bring a towel that's bigger than what I'm using it for, so that way I can use the excess towel to just wrap it around myself, right? So I'll put the ice pack right on, and then use the excess towel to wrap it around, right? That way I don't have to actually worry about it moving, or maybe hitting a different spot than what I actually wanted to do. And it's actually going to be helping the area of discomfort more than anything, because it's not moving anywhere. I like doing that one. Another thing that I do, depending on body placement, is use a tensor bandage, right? And so same thing, put the ice pack on whatever part of my body that is hurting, and then I'll use a tensor bandage to just wrap it up like that. And that way, again, I love the way that it just keeps it all in place. It just helps so much for helping that immediate area, instead of, having to hold your arm in a certain place, or hold your leg up in a certain way, or be, hunched over, laying a certain way just to get the ice on the one spot of your body that hurts, right? So I've been there. Also, what I would do, something that I feel I should mention, just because I do this sometimes too, is for my feet, ankles, knees, depending on how big of a bucket you have, but soaking my feet in a bucket, right? Either ice water, or I do as hot water as I can stand. And then that way, that's great for your feet, for your ankles, your calves, all that. Also too, just quickly, if you're familiar at all with reflexology, all of your organs in your body are connected through the bottoms of your feet, your hands, and your ears. So when we're soaking our feet, we're actually helping all of our body organs, right? And then when we do the ice water, right, it's helping with inflammation in all the body organs that we have. When we do the heat, it's helping, relax all of the muscles and the joints that we have in our body. That's why I love doing the feet one. And just another thing, right? Also, if you put your feet in ice water, I promise you that will wake you up. And if it doesn't, definitely come back here and tell me that didn't give you any more energy or a pazzow. And I would love to hear that story. Freezing ice water. Oof. Number 3, massage. This one is really cool, because I like doing this one depending on the specific spot on my body, right? Shoulders are really bad for me. We hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. Lower back is another one for me. And that those are areas where you can just feel it, right? When you go and give yourself a little massage, you can feel the knot in there when you're up like this and you just feel it, right? And you're like, oh man. Or, you picked up that box wrong or something like that, and you can feel just like, a tension in your back or something like that. So that's not a fun game. Just a nice massage, right? When you're massaging, you want to make sure to do it a specific way, right? You want to make sure that if you can get somebody else to do it, because they can get the specific motions properly. But if you can't and you have to do it by yourself, just remember to do certain motions that help you, right? You don't want to just like press on it, because that's not really going to do anything. You want to just move it in like a circular motion, right? And you also want to get it all the way around. So if you're doing your arm just like that, right, you want to make sure to get it all the way around. You want to move that muscle. What's happening is that you can feel it. It's tensed up in your body, right? And what you're trying to do is, it's just like a knot, right? Like picture a knot. I don't have it, my jacket's over there, but picture a knot, right, in your jacket. And if you're trying to undo the knot, you need to do it in a specific way, or else you're either not going to undo it, or you're just going to end up frustrating yourself, or you could just rip it, right? You're probably not going to rip your ligament by massaging it, but I do know for a fact that you can hurt yourself if you're not doing it in a specific proper way, right? So that's where massage can be, it can not be a good thing, but it can be the most helpful thing. I promise you, if you give yourself a massage in the correct way, it just feels so great, right? You could just feel the tension in your shoulders leaving. You can feel, I love using, I don't actually have it around here, but I love using an oil, right? Like fractionated coconut oil just has a nice, it just has so that you're not pressing right on your skin. I find when you're just going skin on skin, it's very rough, right? And you can feel it. But that's why I like using the coconut oil. Just as like a nice smooth space. That way I can just dig right into my muscles, and I can massage myself in a way that I like, and that is not actually giving me any irritation. So I promise you, if you've got a muscle or a muscle that is tight and you can't really do anything with it, give it a nice little massage. Even if it's on your back, right? Get your fist like that. Oh yeah, just like that, right? Like that's all you need. Just in a circular motion. Oh man, it'll feel awesome. Number 4, stretch. Stretching. This is actually my favorite thing to do when I have a muscle discomfort, when I have any sort of muscle discomfort, anywhere. And it doesn't even matter for me if it hurts or not. I love stretching. For me, more often than not, what I find I need to stretch is my groin and my hamstrings, right? So that's like specific stretches. But you do, right? You get your back. Oh man, when your lower back, if you've been lifting stuff all day, or to go back to the auto factory, right? Just doing the same thing over and over and over. We do 600 cars a shift, right? So, to do the same thing 600 times a day, it does get a little bit, the repetitive motion gets to you a little bit, right? And you can start feeling things in places you didn't even know you had places, right? So, I love stretching. I love it. But some things to think about when you're stretching. Again, if you're stretching wrong and improperly, you can do harm to yourself. And stretching is also a thing like ice and heat, where you don't want to do it for too long it doesn't benefit you by doing it longer. What you want to do is aim for 10, maybe 12, 15 seconds per stretch. And then if you need more, so like if I'm trying to stretch out my back right here, right? 10, 12, 15 seconds, go back to this side. And then if I feel I need more, go back to this way, right? And then do it, just keep rotating that way. So you're not putting so much stress on your body in one particular way. Stretching is a great way to do it. It can also, it's also really one of those things to where if you've got, muscle discomfort anywhere in your body, it can be that you have a tense muscle going on. And stretching is just a way, it helps this is actually something that I forgot to mention with massaging, but massaging actually helps the blood flow to that area, right? So that's a lot of things, a lot of times that can happen, right? When you're dealing with any sort of ailment, your body kind of goes into like a shutdown mode, right? Your body's got signals and things that it can do, and it knows when you need a certain change in pace, we'll call it, right? So stretching is a great way to help loosen up those muscles, help you get back into it. And I don't know, right? For me, if my back's going and I'm walking like this, I can't even like move, and I'm all like, man, help. That's not fun, right? That's not fun. No way. Same thing, like I said, with my groin and my hamstring, right? If I pull a groin and I'm, walking with a limp like this and it just hurts so much, right? That's not fun, right? Get a little stretch, do it for 10, 15 seconds, and then switch it, and then definitely come back here and let me know how that worked out for you. Number 5, I put shower/bath. For me, we live in an apartment. I don't really do baths, but that's not to take anything away from baths, especially when you're trying to take care of your body after a long, hard day. Helping, to rest and relax in a warm bath at the end of the day with Epsom salts. I love putting essential oils in both the shower and the bath. That's just a great way to help stimulate blood flow, to help with any sort of muscle discomfort, to help decrease inflammation. Oh, man, a nice warm bath at the end of the day is so nice. But showers can also be another great way to do that, right? For me, I love when you get a lot of pressure in the shower, and then you can just what I do is I just stand back like this, and I let the water smash me in the back. And I love it, or in the shoulder, right? Or in the hamstring, wherever I find I have discomfort at that current moment. But I love the way that the shower just beats right down on it. And that way you can just kind of like feel it, right? You can feel it hitting, and then if you need to move a little bit, it's just like that. But a shower or a bath at the end of the day is just a great way. And you know what? And it's also a great way to help you calm and relax. Get in that relaxing environment. That's perfect for not only getting to sleep and falling asleep, but actually staying asleep throughout the night. So, right, a nice warm shower at the end of the night. It's really hard for us to go all day, and then at the end of the day just shut off, right? Just turn off like a light switch and be ready for bed and all that stuff. That's why we need to give our brain a little bit of calming and relaxing time, so that we can create that relaxing environment to help let our body know and our brain know that it's time to calm down, because we're about to go to sleep real soon and we don't want to be awake anymore. My last tip more than anything is essential oils. And I have a few essential oils here that I love using, and I use them basically every night. That one I'm gonna not. But the first one that I have here is the Deep Blue Rub Lotion. And the Deep Blue Rub Lotion is basically the reason that I love essential oils, the reason that I started with doTERRA, the reason that I won't go and use anything else, because I love the way that works. I use that one in my massage all the time, and when it's a cream, right? It's a lotion. So when I just put some on my hands and I just rub it wherever I need it, right? My knees, my shoulders, my back, my hamstrings. The only thing, it's got peppermint in it, so just watch the areas that you put it in and don't put it in your eyes because it will burn. But I love using that one. That one's a great one to use anytime you have any sort of discomfort, basically anywhere in your body. I love it. My last blend that I have here is Serenity. Serenity is actually the restful blend from doTERRA, and what that one's great for is promoting that relaxing environment. It's really hard to get to sleep and stay asleep when you're sore, right? When you're hurting, when your body's in that discomfort mode. So that's why I love using the Serenity in the diffuser. We use it. I put a dropper on our pillows. We have a spray mist that we use. I love any sort of Serenity that I can get to help promote that calming, relaxing environment that's perfect for us to fall asleep at the end of the night. All right. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. Maybe somebody that deals with ailments at the end of the day. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, or if you'd like a free sample of oils just to get your hands on a little taste tester before you make a full-on commitment, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week. And I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.